Hello, welcome to your practice today. This 45-minute class is perfect for a Saturday morning or any other time in your week when you want to center yourself, energize the body, clear the mind, and get yourself set up for whatever you might have in store for you today. So come and join me in a comfortable seat. I've got my hips on a block. Just helps to lengthen the spine. And as we extend the spine, you're going to lift up from the corners of your mouth, as cheesy as it sounds, just to give a little bit of extra lift and length to the back of the neck. Now, as you do that, what can happen is the chin lifts. You want to draw the chin back in towards the throat, so it's really the back of the neck that's opening up. And just let the gaze drop down the tip of your nose. You don't have to close your eyes yet. And just really focus on lengthening the spine. So you've got that rooting down through the sitting bones, that lengthening up, lifting energy through the body, and then gather the hands to touch at the heart. So whatever it is that you've done up to this point, just let that be so. And whatever it is that you're anticipating might follow, just let that be a focus for the future, and instead just follow your breath like an anchor into the present moment. So we'll watch the breath together for a couple of rounds, breathing in and out. And then bring that attention, that focus to the heart space. So resting the hands to the sternum, the thumbs to the sternum. Just center yourself into this heart space. Again, the corners of the mouth lift, like we're inviting this uplifting energy into our experience right now. If there's any heaviness, tightness, sadness, anything that feels intense or heavy, again, just let it be so. Let's start to cultivate this uplift through the body that paves the foundation, paves the pathway of this experience as an uplifting, compassionate practice. Take a deep breath in and let the breath go through the mouth. And then release the hands down onto the knees and take a couple of big rolls of the shoulders. Notice maybe how the rest of the spine wants to get involved, and you can stay here with the legs crossed. Or I quite like to take this onto my knees, and you can actually start to kind of cat-cow the spine. So as you inhale, roll your shoulders back, and as you exhale, kind of tuck the tailbone. Inhale, shoulders back. And exhale, tucking the tailbone. Maybe you start to take the arms with you and just finding a little bit of an exploration through the upper body, the shoulders, the spine, maybe back the other way. Just feeling into all the pops and the clicks. There's no particular direction that we're heading for here, so you can just start to move through the arms, maybe coming up onto the knees. Just explore through the body. Just notice how it's feeling as you're arriving onto the mat. And if the free movement feels a little uncomfortable, that's okay. You can come back to something a little bit more familiar. And then if your legs are crossed, you're going to come and join me on the knees. And it'd be great to find a block or something that you can use like a block, because we're going to stretch through the backs of the arms. So this right hand is going to come onto the back of the right shoulder. You're going to bring your left hand down onto the floor like you're coming into tabletop. And then the back of the arm is going to come onto your block. Now, rather than the elbow, think about the upper arm. So this kind of fleshier part of the arm is going to come down onto the block. Now, the higher the block, the greater the intensity. So, and of course, if you don't have a yoga block, you can use something else, but just be mindful that if it's really big, it can get pretty intense. So you might want to start a little bit lower down. And again, just gently lifting the corners of the mouth, bringing a little bit of softness. One more breath. If you've come down onto the left forearm, you're going to push down into the hand, come back onto the left hand, reach the right arm up, and then we're going to thread the needle, so you might want to move that block out the way. You're going to thread the needle, bring that right arm underneath and stretch out through the back of the shoulder. And then press down through the left hand, reach that right arm skywards, and place it down onto the floor. We're going to swap over to the other side. So left hand comes onto the back of the neck. We're going to come forwards, place the right hand down, and then bring the back of that left upper arm onto the block or the prop. Maybe you bring your right forearm down to the ground. So this gives a good stretch through the triceps, through the shoulder perhaps, depending on where the patterns of tensions in your body are. It's going to feel a little bit different for everyone. And just be mindful that static stretching when the body is cold can be a bit intense. So you can make this a little bit dynamic just by moving gently with the breath. Good. And then rather than pushing into that left hand, you're going to push into the right hand to bring yourself up. Oh, lots of clicks today. Bring the left hand skywards and then thread the needle. Bring that left arm underneath the right arm. Just adjusting the hands and the arms until you find a stretch that feels good. Nice one in the back of the shoulder blade. Good, and then place the right hand down. Lift that left arm up again. Now, as you place the left hand down to the floor, you're going to kickstand the left foot out to the left side and extend that right leg back. Peel the right arm up. And then take the right arm alongside the right ear. Get a nice stretch through the side of the body here. Good. Place the right hand down to the floor, left toes back, and then swap it onto the other side. So extending left arm to the side, reaching up through the side of the waist. Try to find a connection to your breath. Good, maybe reaching over the head. And then placing the hand to the floor. Now stay on the ball of the back foot and extend that right leg back to meet it so you come into a high plank. And then lower your knees to the floor. Bring the elbows back towards the waistline as you lower down. We're taking the hands out in front of us. Find little teepees with the fingertips. Elbows point up. Now, I'm feeling pretty tight through my chest, so this already feels like a stretch. And it feels pretty good. So I'm going to stay here just for a breath or so. If we want to move on, you're welcome to start coming up and down, just really mindful of the lower back. You don't have to force this into anything that's really big. Just making little waves with the spine. Maybe next time you come up, you could look over the right shoulder and then back down, and then the left shoulder. And back down. One more time, coming all the way up. And as you lower back down, slide the hands underneath the shoulders. Let's push back to downward facing dog. For me here, take a couple of breaths as you arrive into the body, just gently noticing the inhale and the exhale. Good. And then looking forwards, let's raise the right leg up. Bring your knee to your nose, drawing in, push the ground away with the hands, and then take that leg high behind you again. Bend the knee and open your hip, get a stretch through the side body. And place that foot back down onto the ground. Left side, lengthen the leg up, look forwards. And then bring your knee to your nose, really hug up through the upper back. Good, raise the leg high and then bend the knee and open your hip. Good. Place that foot down onto the ground and then start to tiptoe your feet halfway down the mat. So just coming to halfway. And then using the hands on the earth, lengthen the spine. Folding forwards over your toes. We're going to do that a couple of times. Now you might want to use the blocks to bring the ground a little bit closer towards you. Inhaling to lengthen. And exhaling to fold. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhaling to fold. Inhale one more time. Exhale, fold, and this time just let the head hang heavy. Good. Soften your knees and interlace the hands behind your back, drawing the fist backwards. Roll your shoulders together. Good. And then release the hands. You're going to place them onto the floor in front of you. And from here, place the hands down onto the ground. We're not coming up into full crow. We're just going to play. So inhale, bring the knees up to the backs of the arms, and then place them down. So kind of warming up the quads, warming up the core. Good, one more time. And then turn the toes out, coming into Malasana, our yogi squat. Breathe. Lengthen the spine. Good. Place the hands down onto the floor in front of you. Turn your toes forward. We're going to take a couple of bunny hops to land at the top of the mat. So as you inhale, coming up, and exhale, landing. Maybe you shift all the way to the feet or you keep the hands on the floor. Inhale and exhale. Now, some of you will get airtime if you have a handstand practice. You can come up into handstand. Otherwise, just take a couple more little bunny hops until you land your feet at the top of the mat and fold. And from here, we're going to rock from side to side. And then soften the knees and roll all the way up to standing. Sweep the arms up alongside your ears and bring the hands back to the heart center. Coming through Samasthiti Sadasana, standing tall at the top of your mat. Shoulders roll down the back of the body. Good. Take an inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, fold all the way back down. Shift the weight to the right foot, look forwards. Step your left foot to the back of the mat, drop your left knee to the floor. You're going to stay here with the hands on the earth and lift your chest. Good, coming into a low lunge, keeping the hands on the floor. And then plant the palms, step back to downward facing dog. Gently journey forwards, lower your knees, bend your elbows, heart meets the earth. Inhale, cobra, and exhale, downward facing dog. Nice, let's take a couple of breaths. Following your breath into the present moment, so landing into this experience through the pathway of your breath. Good, let's raise the right leg up. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose, shoulders over your wrists. Look forward, step the right foot down, drop the back knee to the earth. Lift your chest, look forwards, and then step to the top of the mat and fold over your toes. Rise up to stand, inhale, arms high, and exhale, fold to the earth. Good, look up halfway. Step the right foot to the back of the mat, drop your knee down, low lunge. We're going to look up here, drawing that right hip forward, sending your tailbone long. Good. Take a breath in. Plant the palms, step back to down dog. Journey forwards, inhale, shoulders over the wrists, and this time take chaturanga. Inhale to up dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. A few breaths, broadening the breath to the edges of the body. Good, let's raise that left leg up. Bring your knee to your nose. Step the foot between the palms, drop the back knee down, look forwards. And then fold over the left leg as you step the right foot to the top of the mat. Rise to standing, inhale, arms high. Exhale, Samasthiti. Good. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, folding all the way down. Spine is long, look up halfway. Step the left foot to the back of the mat, drop the left knee down. Now this time reach the arms up, inhale. Good, settle down into the hips, but keep that sense of lift, that buoyancy, lift the corners of the mouth. Take a breath in, release your hands, step back to down dog. We come forward, shoulders over the wrist, chaturanga, elbows meet the waist. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Straight away this time, let's inhale, raise the right leg. Bring your knee to your nose, exhale. Inhale, sweep the leg high, and then cross the body, find the left upper arm with that right knee. Inhale, sweep the leg high again. Look forward, step that foot between the palms. We're going to drop the back knee down to the floor, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forwards, look in front of the right foot, and step the left foot to the top of the mat. Folding over your toes. Rising to stand, reach the arms high. Exhale, fold forwards, palms meet the earth. Spine lengthens halfway. Step the right foot to the back of the mat. Drop that knee to the earth. Gather up, lift from the corners of the mouth as you extend the arms over your head. Good, drawing long through the sides of the waist. Take a breath in. Step back to downward facing dog. Use your inhale, inhale forwards. Bend the elbows. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. We move straight away this time. Inhale, left leg rises. Bring your knee to your chest. Stay with your breath. Inhale, raise the leg up. Cross the body to find the right upper arm. Good. Inhale, leg rises. Looking forward, step the foot between the palms, drop the knee. Inhale, reach up. Don't worry if it's quick. Slow it down if you need to. We're releasing the hands. Right foot steps forward and fold over the toes. Rise to standing. Reach your arms high and exhale, hands to heart. Now take a moment here. Feel into the body. Notice the beat of your heart, the sensations of energy moving through you. Anchor in to these observations without attachment. Lifting up, feeling a sense of fullness from this experience. Maybe it feels like gratitude. Maybe it's an offering of compassion. What does it feel like for you today? Let's raise the arms up. Exhale, fold forwards. Spine lengthens, look up, shift the weight to the right foot. Left foot to the back of the mat. Now keep the knee lifted this time. Rise up to high lunge, reach your arms alongside your ears. And then reach back with the right arm, take a twist. Good. Inhale back to center. And exhale, drop the back heel, warrior two. Good. Looking over that front middle finger, hug that right hip back. Energize the back leg. Good. And then engage the right thigh. Heel toe the back foot in, triangle pose, extending out of the waist. Reach that left arm skywards. Good. Now, if you don't want to twist today, stay as you are. If you want to twist, we can step that back foot in a touch. Extend the spine and take the left hand to the outside of the right foot on the floor or on a block for that revolve triangle. Right hip moving back. So try not to pop the right hip out to the side. Hug it in. Good. And then place the right hand down. I'm going to use my other block as I lengthen the spine and start to fold over the right leg now. Soften your right knee. Step to the top of the mat, lengthen the spine, and fold over your toes. Rise up to standing, inhale, and exhale, fold forwards. And the spine lengthens, look up. Right foot to the back of the mat, setting up for high lunge. Energize through the back heel, gather up, lifting from the corners of the mouth, feeling that sense of extension through the body, that lift, that energy. Take a breath in. Left arm back, right arm forwards. Good. Breathe. Take the gaze over that left shoulder if you can do so without losing your balance. Take another inhale. Bring the arms up, drop the back heel, warrior two. Breathe. How does it feel to be in your body, to be in your breath, to be in this experience right now? Lengthen the left leg, triangle pose. Heel toe the back foot in, extend the other underside of the waist. Hug up through this left thigh so we're not collapsing into the knee. And keep the waist long as you rotate to look up over that right shoulder. And if that's too much for the neck, you can look straight ahead. Good, either staying as you are, or we take the Revolve Triangle. So squaring the hips, maybe bringing that back foot in a little, reaching your right arm forwards and taking it either in front or to the outside of that left foot. Good. Adjusting the step if you need to. Whoops. Good. I say this every time I do this pose. It's my nemesis. I find it so challenging, and it's so important to allow ourselves that time to explore those challenges. So if you're with me, know that you're not alone, whether it's this pose or somewhere else. Keep here for one more breath. Good, and then folding over that left leg. Lengthen the spine, maybe using your blocks if you have them handy. Good, now from here, let's walk the feet around. So we're facing the long edge of the mat. Widening the space between the feet, and again using blocks, and placing your hands to the floor. Let the weight shift forward into the front of the feet, and then as you exhale, bend the elbows and start lowering the head towards the floor. Now really allowing the weight to come forwards. Those of you who want to take it to a tripod headstand from here, that's also an option. And then place the hands back to the floor in front of you, lengthen the spine. You're going to turn your right toes out, find your left heel, bending the knees. We're moving to Skandasana. So you might want to adjust the feet depending on various different things going on in your skeleton. And then place the right hand down to the floor and reach the left arm up. Good. Now, some of you might want to take a bind from here, reaching the left hand around. Now, my heel is lifted. Some of you may have the heel to the floor, in which case that's going to make your balance a little bit easier, supposedly, and it will support you in coming into this bind. For me, it's a little bit too wobbly. So the action is this right hand coming in front. You wrap it behind, roll that right shoulder back, and then the left hand is behind the back. Maybe you find a bind. Otherwise, just stay here, perhaps in the twist. And then place that left hand down to the floor. Coming up through the center, we're going to swap to the other side. Good, left hand down, right arm up. So this really helps to extend and open up through the thoracic spine. Again, the option for the bind for those that want to take it is there, wrapping the left arm in front and the right hand around the back. Good, take another breath. And then place that hand down onto the floor. Now remember at the beginning we were taking those preparations for crow pose. We're going to turn all the way around to face the front and step that right foot in. So the feet are a little bit further away from the hands. You can always place a block or a bolster in front of you for the head. So then we come right up onto the tiptoes, bring the knees onto the backs of the elbows. That's much too far forward for my head. And then coming all the way up. So think up and forwards rather than down. That's the only danger of having something in front of your head. It might help the fear factor, but it doesn't help us in moving kind of forwards and up. So you're looking forwards, and maybe you're just lifting one lot of toes, the other lot of toes, or maybe you can draw up at the same time. And take a few breaths here. When you have done, you can come into Malasana. But really think of energizing through the hips. So even if you're keeping the feet on the floor, you're really drawing up, using that lift at the navel. Nice. Wherever you are, just having another couple of moments to play. And then you can just let it go. Either coming into Malasana or finding your forward fold. Now we're going to take another couple of moments of play, and I want to give you some options. So this is your opportunity to get light in the body. Remember, we started this practice lifting the corners of the mouth. And while I don't want to force fun, it is good to feel light and playful in our practice. So maybe you come to explore your crow pose a little bit longer. If there's any balances you want to try, tree pose is a really good place to come from here. So as you bring yourself up to standing, you could take a tree pose, or we could take an upward facing tree by coming to the wall, and just be mindful of the space around you as you do this. But you could come gently up towards the wall, possibly using the mat depending on your space, and bringing yourself up to the wall, letting the hips rest back, and then bringing the sole of one foot onto the thigh. If that's too much, you can just come to rest the heels against the wall. Some of you will have a little play with a handstand, using the wall for support. So take your pick. Now, of course, if you're in tree pose or upward facing tree, you want to make sure you have a go on the other side. So take your time. Let this be light. Notice where fear might take your breath away, and see if you can find that steady, gentle, nurturing breath. Keep the energy flowing, keep the energy moving, breathing, gentle breath through the body. Maybe it's bunny hops, maybe it's a dolphin pose, or maybe you take the opportunity just to come down and lie on your back and take a pause. That's also an option. I'm going to give you another 30 seconds or so of exploration. Crow pose, if you're flying, maybe bring your feet to the back of the mat and take it through a vinyasa. Everyone's welcome to take a vinyasa, but we're going to meet in child's pose. And when you do arrive in child's pose, just slowly navigate your way back to your breath if you feel disconnected. Letting yourself land back into this rhythm. Nice. From here, we're going to take it onto the back of the body. So either jumping through or just sweep the feet from underneath you. And gently roll down onto the back of your body. We're going to set up for a bridge pose. So this could be a supported bridge using a block. And you can place the block underneath the back of the hips. Or maybe as you press into the hands and the feet, making sure you can just about touch the heels with the hands. Gently lift the hips away from the floor, interlace the hands behind your back, sending your knees forward. Good. And maybe you could stay there, or perhaps you want to take this a little bit further if the body feels spacious, bringing the hands up next to the shoulders and coming into a full wheel. And when you're ready to release, tuck your chin to your chest and come down. You'll have a chance for a second round in a moment. Just pause for a moment. Maybe let the knees rest in towards one another. And then taking your second round of whatever variation feels good in your body. So if you're coming all the way up, place the hands by the shoulders. If you're taking a bridge, hands by the hips. Use the inhale to come up. Keep the breath steady. And then when you're ready to release, tuck the chin to the chest. Roll all the way down. Settle the back of the body to the earth. And breathe. Feeling any buzzing, tingling, movement of energy through the body. How wonderful it is to feel a sense of your own aliveness here. And then push down through the feet. You're going to shuffle your hips to the left side. Wrap that left leg over the right leg, or just let the two knees sit one on top of the other. You let your legs fall to the right. You can peel to look over that left shoulder. Good, just settling into the body, into the breath. And gently coming back through the center. We're going to take the hips to the right and then adjust the legs over to the other side. Another breath here. And let's come back to center. Let's take happy baby. So bring your hips into the middle of the mat. You're going to bend the knees, take hold of the big toes if they're available, or the outside edges of the feet. And if that's a little bit far away, you can just take hold of your ankles. Good. Try to lengthen your tailbone down. Soften your jaw. And then gently lower the legs. Let's take a moment with the soles of the feet together, knees dropping out to the sides, hands resting onto the front of the body. Feeling the movement of your breath as it draws in and out. And just noticing the support of the earth beneath you, the uplift of the in-breath, picking you up from the ground, and the exhale lightly delivering you back down. And then hands come to the outside of the thighs. Gently draw the knees together and extend the legs down onto the floor. Getting yourself settled. Take up plenty of space. A deep breath in through the nose. A big sigh through the mouth. And just let everything go. When you feel ready to do so, you can slowly start to deepen your breath. Perhaps releasing a sigh from the body as you start to bring movement back to your fingers and toes. Take a full body stretch. Bring your knees in and gently roll to one side. And just pausing on the side body before bringing yourself up gently to seated. Keeping the eyes closed as you find a tall spine. Just witnessing the breath, the aliveness of your body presenting through sensation, the shifts of energy cultivated by your practice today. And then gather your hands at the heart, a moment of gratitude, as we acknowledge this experience. And gather it, carry it forth with us as we leave the mat today and make our way into whatever is in store for us. Take a deep breath in and a big sigh. Keeping the corners of the mouth lifted as you gently blink the eyes open. Thank you so much for your practice today. I hope you enjoyed that practice. If you'd like to find more classes, you can come and join me on The Practice, my online studio with hundreds of on-demand classes for you to choose from. I've popped a link to the free trial in the box below, and I'll see you there soon.